And welcome to the NJCU Gothic Knights channel for some exciting Rocket League action. I'm going to be bringing you the action. My name is Lars New. Joining me here in the casting booth is K-Wing, and we're already underway with game one of this best of 5.
We are. It's very exciting. Your Gothic Knights are in the blue already. Wells, the carry of this team's going to get an early demo, but NJCU's going to get that first kill, going to get that first goal early in this match, 15 seconds in.
8 seconds gone, and that's not exactly how you want to get started if you are the Gothic Knights. Post U strikes quickly, but it doesn't speak too much to what's going to happen throughout the rest of this series. 8 seconds isn't a lot of time for play to develop. That kickoff won by the Gothic Knights. Bringing the attack down to the post-university end. Addo looking to guide this one out. Charisma doing a good job with this contain, and the ball is going to fall in the middle. Double commit out of the Gothic Knights. Allow this one all the way downfield. Charisma is able to touch this one high. Nova J with an opportunity, met by Welson. Attack established now for post U.
Better it is, Wilson is going to try and get control, but Nova J is just putting the pressure on constant. Something you see really consistently out of good Rocket League teams is that they're always putting pressure on Skinny. Going to send the ball into post-university territory, but it'll be sent right back. Wells is trying to make the save, but Otto will get a pretty advantageous 50-50, and the ball will fly over to post-university territory. That ball is going right in front of the net. It won't long before Otto is able to take it away. Going to be a face-up between Otto and Wilson, I believe. And it's sent over to the other side. Wilson going to try, but won't have that ball stolen away, and it's Charisma. It's a lot bastion of defense, but it's going to get beaten out, and Skinny will be there to keep this from going into the net. This ball has been off and active for a while now. The ball is going to go right in front of the goal. Otto's going to take the shot. It's just off the crossbar, but Werda is there to pop it in 2-0 for Post University.
Lots of quick back and forth here so far in this series. We haven't seen a ton of contain in the offensive end, but this is something I'd really like to see when it comes to attacking the net, as you saw them hit that back wall a couple of times, bait out a response from those defenders, and then follow through with the punish on the side of Post U. Now, the Gothic Knights have had a couple of good looks down the field, but they're going to continue to be threatened in front of their own net. We need to see them get this ball clear and start to bring some of that pressure back down the other way.
They need this opportunity. Wilson going to have this chance to get something going. The center's going to be there, but it's a bit of a double commit. Skinny and Charisma both really on that side. Otto is going to be there to send it back, not really in any of the Gothic Knights' hands. Charisma going to send it over onto the right side. It'll get sent over into the middle. Here comes Otto with the aerial shot, going to try and tap it in towards the center. Werda will try and get a shot off, but it will be way too wide. Skinny going to try and get some offense going for the Gothic Knights. Wilson is there to try and keep this alive. Won't get any shot on net, but here comes Charisma trying, but Werda will steal it away. Wilson going to get the shot off, and he'll make it. Wilson will get this closer and closer to evening it up.
This is so critical for your Gothic Knights to be able to put this one in just before halftime here. Slow down some of that momentum on the side of Post U. Cut that lead in half and bring themselves a little bit closer to evening this one up. Now that they've got a little bit of momentum, they've thrown the brakes on Post U. I'd like to see them start to run away with this one, take advantage of this momentum swing, and really get aggressive in the offensive zone.
They're doing just that. Skinny's just barely not there to catch that center. Wilson, again, just barely misses that tap into the net. It will go towards the center, and the Gothic Knights, they're seizing on this tempo change and this pressure shift, but here it comes back from post. They'll send it in towards the center, and Nova J is there, but Skinny's there with the save, sending it back, but the pressure's still there. Wilson's gonna have to try and make a save. Won't get his car onto the ball, but the ball will go wide. Otto keeping this pressure on so much. Post has just been keeping the pressure on the Gothic Knights. They can barely have any room to breathe, as now Charisma, when to face off of Berta, will be getting well. Otto will get taken down. Wilson going to use that to get that demo, and you have a bit of momentum shift off of that. But here comes the shot. It's just off the side. Otto will try again, just again off the side. Wilson has the ball, ready to try and take it towards the net, but both defenders are there, Otto and Werda, and they're going to send it right back to Charisma. Trying, Otto has a chance, And here it comes to Nova J. Werda gonna try and tap it in, won't get anything going before it's back to the center for another for Skinny to try and get something to do with it. Otto will send it right back towards the net, and a minute remaining in this. The Gothic Knights, they need to get more aggressive, but the shot's gonna go right towards the net, and oh no! No!
Credit where credit's due. A touch had to be made here on the side of NJCU, and unfortunately that ball just a little too far gone for Skinny to be able to make a play on it. Ends up finishing that one off themselves, but pressure coming from Post U. I think that result was inevitable once the ball had developed to that point. Something that NJCU struggling a little bit with right now is to get this ball clear of the box, get it out of the shooting lane in front of their net. Over here at a gameplay heat map, seeing a lot of activity in front of NJCU's net. I'd like to see them do a better job of pushing this out to the corner, driving it up the wall, and then bringing that same pressure down on top of Post University.
Absolutely. I mean, it's to me, it's almost as important as stopping goals from going into your net is keeping the ball even away from being in a position where you can have a shot go off. You really need to have this opportunity to. You can't have the ball be always in front of your net, because eventually one shot will go through, like that one from Nova J, and it's 4-1 for Post University. And the Gothic Knights, this first game here, it won't be a sweep unless some miracle happens, which could happen, but I don't think it will.
Post University's done a good job so far of getting aggressive in the offensive end and getting aggressive on the field as well. 4 demos. However, to the favor of NJCU, they're trying to use that physical game to get this ball clear of the net, to bring that pressure back down the other way on the field. And I think that's going to be critical going forward, to try to take advantage of the offensive rotation that Post has established, disrupt it with some physical game, and send them clear. But as game number 1 closes out, Post U takes it 4-1. And just looking at the shot totals here, we have 9 shots to the advantage of Post U, and NJCU only finding 3 themselves. Step number 1 of getting the advantage here in this series is going to be getting that ball clear of their own net, getting it out from in front of their net, and getting it downfield. Next step after that is going to be getting it in front of, Post University's net. As we can see, hold on, that's the wrong one. It's this one right here. If we are going to come back to the casters, which we do, we can see on the activity heat map here, this is tracking all of the players on the field. And look at that. NJCU, very, very heavily concentrated in front of their own net. Not a lot of activity down here, and most of it is down along the walls. I'd like to see some more of this blue activity right out in front of Post U's net. Post U on the other side doing a good job of bringing that pressure evenly down the field, covering a lot of this field and getting that pressure down in front of the box. NJCU, get the ball clear and then maintain offensive rotation, offensive pressure down in Post University's end.
Absolutely. I mean, I think if you look at those 2 heat maps, you can see absolutely where the members of NJCU have been this entire time. They've been right in front of their own net, and can you even blame them? They've had so much pressure on them. They need to start taking that pressure and getting counterattacks going. They need to get the ball away from that net, away from that center lane, where it is such a dangerous thing. You can't have that ball always in front of your net, because at that point, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the ball gets in the net.
Absolutely. And one thing I do like to see, though, is they've made a good job with that defensive stand in front of their net. In general, they allow it to develop for too long, and eventually that's just going to yield goals for Post University if you allow that to develop for too long. For that to sit for that much time, eventually it's going to result in a goal. One of the things that they do well, though, is to extend out that amount of time that they are sitting in front of the net. And what can happen on the offensive side is Post U, if they don't score a goal right away, can get a little over-eager, they can get a little overly aggressive, start to get baited upfield a little bit, bring that rotation further and further forward, up towards the top of the box. Here, I can just draw it here real quick. As Post U, they establish an offensive rotation around the top, around their half of the field here, but as they get frustrated with not scoring goals, they may start to bring that rotation upfield a little bit and start to bring it closer and closer to this net. where NJCU could take advantage of that is they can then send that ball with no defenders home on the side of Post University, clear deep down the field. Typically, I'd recommend looking to control that ball out of the zone. At this point, with the amount of pressure we're seeing out of Post University, I'd really like to see them bang that ball downfield, go chase it, and then do your best to set up a wall at that midfield line and contain it in Post University's end.
Absolutely. I mean, I keep wanting to go back to those heat maps. I mean, just looking at those heat maps, you see a game that NJCU just had to play defense for what seems like the entire time. But I completely agree with the idea that you're going to see if NJCU can keep on this defense and keep them going for a lot longer, they're going to get nervous. They're going to make mistakes as we get in these first few seconds. We're looking for NJCU to start to play this long game here. Here comes Otto, trying to make a play right towards the center. Werda gonna send it into the net and right off the crossbar and in. Werda will get an early goal, and that's just not what we want to see out of our Gothic Knights.
Well played out of Post University, but that bar down is very, very difficult to save, and you see a little bit of confusion on the goal line here. Gothic Knights, I think a little bit of communication may go a long way. Someone needs to be challenging that ball. You mentioned it earlier in this series, game number 1. It's 3v3. Take advantage of the fact that you have excess players on the field. There should always be a player rotating in position to make a defensive play, a pass, whatever it is, a player getting some boost, and a player challenging the ball. Always, always, always.
Absolutely. As we look here, Wilson and Nova J. Wilson going to lose that 50-50 to Nova J. Has a better positioning. Nova J going to take a shot on the net. It will be saved by Wilson. Going to try and get that counterattack going. He'll beat both members. He's got an open net, and he's going to score to even it up. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock.
Wilson, playing from all the way down in South America, finds a way to make the long play up the field and finish this one off. Beats out Post University's defense, draws them all the way from the net. By the time he gets down to the net, there's nobody home. It's an easy walk home for Wilson.
Absolutely, but the work is not over for the Gothic Knights, Wilson. It's still just 1-1. Got that boost, and Skinny is going to get demoed immediately, and there's a lot of pressure on the Gothic Knights, and they're going to get taken down by it, as Werda will get just another goal to take the lead 2-1 for Post University.
A well-placed shot out of Post University, and that demo play so critical to clear out that last defender. They're waiting near post, and I have all the faith in the world that would have been an easy save here for your Gothic Knights, but unfortunately, the big demo play from Post University clears it out. It's that physical play that we talked about in game number 1. It's so crucial going forward. You can't wait to make it a part of your game. Here's an opportunity. Charisma tries to finish it off, and as the attack continues, finally broken up by Werda and sent back downfield, but Charisma showing up yet again with a big defensive stop.
That he did. I thought that ball was heading straight for the back of the net, but Charisma was there to say not today, not at all if Wilson has anything to say about it, as Werda's shot going to go wide thanks to some intervention by Wilson, but the pressure is always on. I mean, we see almost all of the Gothic Knights right in that net. Here comes the clear, but it's not going to go far before it's intercepted by a member of Post University. Charisma ready to try and get something going, but Nova J is there to keep things alive on the attack, and just a barely save from Skinny, but Werda is going to be there to tap it in.
Wow, that is a gorgeous shot out of Addo, and Skinny does an excellent job of taking advantage of their positioning to push that one back out of the net. It was halfway across the goal line, as you could see, and unfortunately it ends up back in front of the net. A team bump and the quick finish from Post University. Post University continuing to bring pressure down on NJCU's net, and as they take another shot over the top, Addo finds yet another.
It's just impressive the amount of pressure that Otto and the members of Otto Werda and the members of Post University are putting on the Gothic Knights. It just seems, I said it before, but it seems like the Gothic Knights, they can barely take a moment to breathe before there's this incredibly oppressive attack coming in, and aggression just coming in from Post University. Some aggression going to be coming out here from the Gothic Knights. They need to try and capitalize off this, so they want to stay in the game and also in the match, as this as a win here could send Post University into match point. We haven't talked a lot about the stakes of this match. Your Gothic Knights probably going to be getting into the playoffs, but this is a fight for playoff seeding, very important. As if the Gothic Knights win this, they could be into potentially a first round bye, which has so much benefits. But to do that, they need to recover against Post University, and they've just not been doing that so far. Ball is right in their spot. NovaJ going to miss the clear, and there is a chance for the Gothic Knights to get something going. The ball right towards the net. Here comes Wilson trying to get something going, and the pressure still on Charisma. Going to send the ball towards the net. 50-50, not going to go really one way or the other, but Skinny trying to make something going, and the ball just still. Wilson's going to get a tap off the wall. Here comes Charisma trying to keep this pressure on. Werder will try for the clear, going to get it. Otto again just trying to get this out. You can see that's just the goal of this defense. They need to get this ball away from their net, and they're doing a really good job of it. Charisma will send it back in, trying to get the double tap, not going to be anywhere near where he needs to be. The shot won't be either, and the ball is right back at the Gothic Knights net. Werder will get demoed, so that might just put a stop to any sort of physical play that Post University may be doing, but he's right back. 1 minute remaining. Now let's come in. Nova J clears back. 50-50 is going to be won by your Gothic Knights. They're going to put it in, but Otto's there to make the save from Charisma's shot. It's just not looking good for the Gothic Knights here with 40 seconds left. The shot is going to be saved by Wilson, and your Gothic Knights down 3. They're going to need a miracle in the last half minute of this game here.
Game 2 looking very much so in the favor of Post University, but a lot to be excited about on the side of Gothic Knights. This has been a much better showing than Game 1. I've really been excited about this last 2.5 minutes. They spent a good solid 45 seconds down in the offensive end, and that one's going to go off of 2 Gothic Knights and in the net. But I think at this point, it's not going to make much of a difference going forward. But what I like to see out of the Gothic Knights in the last 2.5 minutes, they spent about 45 seconds continuous on offense down on Post University's net. They got that quick attack, that quick follow-up attack, and Post University was able to scramble, keep that ball out of the net, but just barely. We're also seeing much better control of the pace of play in the game here out of Gothic Knights. Going into Game 3, that's something they can lean heavily on. If they can keep that pace up and that level of aggression up in the offensive end, it's going to work very much so to their advantage through Game 3 as they look to stay alive in this series.
Absolutely, and Otto is just going to take a final score in order to it's a bit of mind games tactic coming out from Otto just to demoralize the Gothic Knights, but I agree that they have a lot to be proud of. I think that they've done a lot more control. Now, I think a lot of the viewers are probably wondering, these teams, NJCU, they seem like they don't trust each other. I mean, with that second to last goal, it went off of 2 Gothic Knights who seemed like neither trusted each other to make that save. You have to realize, because of this COVID pandemic, none of our Gothic Knights are in the same building. None of them have really had a chance to get to know each other. And so that team building, that cohesion that you see with a lot of teams isn't going to be as present with the Gothic Knights. So I think that with that knowledge, the ability that they have is very impressive as we look into match point now for Post University. Gothic Knights, if they're going to need to pull out a reverse sweep to win the next 3 games, if they want to improve their record from what it currently is at, which is 4-3, to potential 5-3, or if they'll fall down to 500.
Yeah, going through game number 3 here, I think that the big things to note as we get into game number 3 is, like I said, NJCU did a much better job bringing pressure down on Post University's net in the last half of that second game. And we saw a much better contribution out of all the players on the team. We got good pressure. We got 6 shots, doubled the number of shots from game number 1, and got that gap just a little bit closer with Post University. I think we had a lot of really good looks down on the net. And if they could just find a way to click that last little touch into the net, then we get a very, very different scoreline going forward.
We could Werder trying to go for the double tap, not going to land it. going to run out of boost a bit too early as the pressure's still on Otto, trying to make a desperate attempt to keep the pressure on, but Skinny, it might have been an overcommit for Post University, but the Gothic Knights, they just aren't there to take advantage of it. But as I say that, Charisma comes in to make a play at the net. Here comes Nelson with the shot, not going to get anything going before Post University is going to be there. Skinny's going to knock it right back towards the net. Here comes this aggression that we've been missing for these first two games. The shot will come in. Wilson will have it saved by Werda, but already it's a different looking Gothic Knights squad than we've seen so far. Charisma just going to knock it off the side.
It's an unfortunate little turn here. Wilson gets beat in the 50. It goes out of the corner. Nova J takes a great read out of that corner. Charisma not quite able to get enough of his finger on it to push that one post and back out. But 49 seconds in, we're only 0-1 in favor of Post University. Gothic Knights had a couple of really good, solid looks down the field. They just have to find, like I said, that little magic touch, that last little click to get this ball in the net. Here's the attack. Addo chasing Wilson all the way up into the ceiling of that net.
Absolutely. I mean, I do think that what you're saying is right. You have such a better look for the Gothic Knights going down the field and attacking. They just need to find that magic touch, that magic final point to get them out of this. I don't want to call it a funk, but to get them out of maybe this aggression phase and into a goal-scoring state of mind. As already they have, again, this aggression coming out. Skinny going to face off with Werda. Werda will get the ball control. Wilson will try. Charisma is going to intercept the clear, but Otto is there to keep it going. Wilson going to try again. Skinny coming in, but Otto's going to take it towards the net, and 3-0 for Post University.
That was really just a really nice solo play out of Addo. They did a great job coming down on top of that ball and then finishing it off, tucking that one up into the corner as Skinny just gets caught out looking for some boost and not staying home on the side of the net. Addo demonstrating why it's so important to follow your touches and stay behind them, because it buys you these opportunities. Something, fortunately, we haven't really seen out of Gothic Knights is abandoning the ball in favor of boost and things like that, and generally done a very good job of staying close, doing their best to keep control of this ball. Just need to see that last bit, get this clear of their zone and really establish an offensive rotation, get physical in front of that net, and really force this ball home.
That they do, as we see all going to go towards the Post University net, but there's just not going to be there's not going to be enough aggression to take it from Post University's defense. Here comes Skinny, but Charisma is going to get demoed, and now there's no one in the Gothic Knights net for a little bit. This game just got demoed, but there's all the time in the world. This ball seems like dancing around every single point of the Post University net. That just isn't that goal. As they go off the side, Skinny going to send it right towards the center, but there's no one there for the rotation, and it's back to the defense. We're also going to try and keep this going, send it towards the center. It is there, as here comes Charisma trying to get something going. The Gothic Knights, they want this so bad. Everyone is so far up, but they could get beaten for it. Still, this aggression could be coming out. They want this goal so badly. They need to get something going in these last 2 minutes. Otherwise, it's all over in this last game of the regular season, in potentially what could be the last game of the last match of the regular season before playoffs, before elimination time. The Gothic Knights, they can't be going into these playoffs defeated and swept by a team that they scrim against pretty regularly. Wilson trying to get the ball towards the net, but here comes Nova J to cancel those dreams. Here comes Charisma trying to get something going. The ball is going to go way too high, way too wide, as Wilson will try, but he will lose the 50-50. Skinny going to try and get something going. Wilson will demo Werda, but the ball is so far back towards the Gothic Knights net that they can't get anything going. Skinny's going to get demoed, and this is a prime time opportunity for Post University.
The ball rolls down at Post University's corner. Charisma is going to follow this one out, and I've become very familiar with South American Rocket League over the last few months, as our broadcaster may know, and Wilson exhibiting a lot of that South American style. the fast pace, the aggression, to get the ball downfield and chase it. Werda with a ground pinch off the post and in, and now the order gets just a little bit taller on the side of the Gothic Knights to bring this one back. 4 goals, 53 seconds, doable, but they need to find a way to make it happen in very short order.
That they do. The Gothic Knights are going to need aggression on a scale hitherto unheard of. If anyone can do it, it is our Gothic Knights. We'll have to see if they can bring it out. Skinny and Wilson both trying to get something, anything going in this last minute of play. Wilson will get a shot off, not going to get anything, but now the counterattack's going to come, and the Gothic Knights, they need to run to get anything, something going. 30 seconds left, still down 4 goals. Right now, Post University, all they want to do is stall for time, get this ball up into the air, into a place where the Gothic Knights can't make effective plays, and they've been doing just that as we now have 15 seconds left, getting into the final 10 seconds, down 4 goals. This is the last game for the Gothic Knights before 4, 3, 2, 1. Gothic Knights, as this ball lands, will have their last game end in a 3-0 sweep.
Well, the Gothic Knights, I know the strategy here. They're playing the mind games. They know when you go through a season, you can be expected to have ups and downs. So what they're doing right now, they're playing the long game. They're getting all their downs out at the end of the regular season. They've already made the playoffs. They've said, hey, let's get the bad juju out now, and we're going to carry into playoffs, and we are going to be absolutely dominant as we sweep through those playoffs. Gothic Knights on their way to the top. I do want to give a little bit of vindication here to the Gothic Knights as well. Look at that. They've done a much, much better job of getting this ball clear of their zone, getting downfield, bringing lots more pressure down on top of Post University. They just couldn't find that last little touch to get the ball home in Post University's net. In between now and the playoffs, which should start in 2 weeks, I believe, they need to take some time to really work on some team plays, some good solid offensive rotations to open up that net and open up these shooting opportunities. There's plenty to be excited about here with the Gothic Knights. They just struggled a little bit to find that last piece here in this series.
Absolutely, and it's that one small piece, like you said. They've made these opportunities. They've got the aggression. They just need to find, like you said, that last one piece. And it's something that you can definitely do in these coming weeks. Is work on setting up that final tap in and getting into scoring goals on tougher opponents. And they made incredible adjustments on the fly. They countered Post University's aggression, and they were able to get some of their own in. There's a lot to look forward to if you are a Gothic Knights fan.
Speaking of a lot to look forward to, that is going to do it for us here tonight. But if you are a big fan of the Gothic Knights here and you want to see some more Gothic Knights action as they make their run through the playoffs on their way to the top, make sure you drop the channel a follow and you are sticking around here anytime that live notification comes up. You're following along with NJCU's eSports to make sure on all of their socials that you are up to date on all the latest news and action related to NJCU eSports. But that does it for us here tonight on this Wednesday evening. I have been Lars Newt. Joining me here in the casting booth is with K-Wing. You guys have yourselves a wonderful evening.